Hello.
Hi there.
Hello, and welcome back to our Valentine's Day movie marathon.
Yes.
Yes, we just did the first original Bloody Valentine, and now we watched My Bloody Valentine, the remake in 3D with old school 3D glasses.
Yes, this one came out in 2009 with Jensen Ackles from Supernatural.
Yes, and Jamie King and Keira Smith from Dawson's Creek and the legendary Tom Atkins from
I will say I know the cast from this movie better.
Halloween 3.
I recognize a lot more of the cast from this one. Yes, Tom Atkins from Halloween 3, yes.
Yes.
But was this movie as good as the original? We will get into that. So, this one is actually overall it's kind of the same thing, but it's also a very, very different story.
Yes, it's not afraid to be violent and naked.
Oh yeah, naked, violent,
and bloody.
And a lot more gore. The 3D shots were actually pretty cool, but this story is very, very different from the original.
Yes.
Outside the fact that there's a miner that's trying to kill people.
Yes, this has like 3 stories in it.
It
starts off with a scene with Harry Warden.
Mm-hmm.
They use Harry Warden in this one, but Jensen Ackles is also in the mine with them, and they get stuck down there in the mine, and they're the only 2 to come out and survive or whatever, and Harry Warden's sent to the mental ward or whatever. And then Harry Warden, a year later, Harry Warden escapes, kills the entire hospital, opens their chest with blood and
basically though he kills everyone, takes their body parts, their hearts,
and then goes after Jensen Ackles and a bunch of kids that are partying in the mine.
Yeah.
And then after that incident, Harry Warden supposedly escapes or dies in the mine.
Right.
But it flashes forward 10 years later. Jensen Ackles has disappeared and finally come back to town because his father has died.
Right.
And he needs to sell the mine, or if he's going to sell the mine, he's going to make a decision or whatever.
Right.
Yes, and then you enter Jamie King, which is his girlfriend at the time, like 10 years ago. Now she's married to Keira Smith, her best friend, and that he's the sheriff of the town, and he does not like him. Not at all. But yeah, murders start happening. This one, I think one of our first kills is, besides the mine incident, one of our first main kills is the trucker and the prostitute.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the mine stuff happens first. Those kills, we get kills like people get their eyes, like one guy gets his eye pickaxe through his head. And another girl gets her mouth shoveled, like her head shoveled right at the mouth in half.
Yeah, in the mine scene.
Oh yeah, and then
it's cool in 3D.
Oh yeah, the deaths are really creative and really graphic and gory in this movie. Very violent. And then the one dude gets the one guy gets his head pickaxe right here, and then the girl gets chased back to her apartment, I think, and then one lady gets killed there, getting pickaxed through the roof of the building.
Oh yeah, the owner of the motel.
Yeah, the owner of the motel gets. Oh yeah, it was a motel, not the apartment.
The little short gal.
Yeah, the little short lady gets killed, and then she's it's just pins her to the roof of the building.
Yeah.
And then she ends up hiding, and then the naked woman ends up hiding underneath her bed. And then he rips off the mattress, and then she's using the bed springs and the whatever
to defend herself
horribly. And she's trying to dodge the pickaxe getting thrown at her.
Yeah.
And then finally gets pickaxe in the chest.
Yeah, and then
he starts waiting for her head and then misses, goes for her chest. And
there's a really cool grocery store chase scene.
That was a pretty cool scene.
That ends up with another death, but you find out that the sheriff has been sleeping with Jamie King's coworker, and the coworker is the one that dies in this one. But she's dragged through the window, and then they find her body, like, they find her chest, like, cut open, and her heart taken out. It's pretty gruesome.
Oh, yeah, she's against the wall of this
and
building.
she was pregnant with his baby.
Yeah.
It fucked up.
And then...
What's the next kill? Oh, I think it's Tom Atkins and...
The other guy.
The other guy.
So Tom Atkins gets killed by getting a pickaxe.
You find out that Tom Atkins and then another guy, and then the sheriff, apparently, his dad, Jensen Ackles' dad, all rounded up Harry Warden back 10 years ago and murdered him and buried his body out in the woods while they go out to try to find his body. And his body's been dug up and they can't find it.
Yeah.
So they don't know if this is Harry Warden or not. And then Tom Atkins gets...
So he
gets the pickaxe to the chin.
Well, so what happens is he gets the pickaxe to his chin and he has his jaw ripped off.
Yeah, in 3D.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. And then the other guy gets, the pickaxe gets thrown on the floor and then gets his head thrown down and knocks his eye out.
Yep.
And then they try to kind of recreate Mabel's death, not nearly as good in this movie later with, I think, the housemaid lady.
Yeah.
And she gets, killed by getting thrown in the dryer again, and then they find her body again. Not really as effective, but they try to, copy that kill because it was so memorable in the original.
But yeah, it just leads up to, I think they end up being in the mine, don't they?
Yeah, they end up in the mine to meet, well, and this one's a little different. I think it's to meet Harry Warden, right? Instead of they're going back for a party, it's to kind of confront him, and then because I've seen this movie less times than I've seen the original.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the ending.
I know.
I just know that she finds out that it's him.
Eventually they're attacking. There's a chase scene. She gets attacked, and then basically the mask gets taken off, and you find out it's Jensen Ackles. I forget. I think it's supposed to be Harry Warden's son in this one. Right?
Supposed to be, but he's not Harry Warden's son. He was messed up both times in the mine, and that's why he in the head.
Right, okay.
Yeah. He's just crazy.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and tries killing Jamie King and Keira Smith. And
yeah.
It's kind of scary seeing Jensen Ackles from Supernatural be a bad guy.
Yeah. He played a really crazy dude.
Yeah.
And
he survives.
Well, he survives. There's a scene where he's coming out as one of the people in the miner outfits or whatever, the oxygen outfits in the movie.
Like the firefighters.
Oh, yeah. That's it. The firefighter outfits, and then he takes off his gear, and we see that it's actually him underneath the suit.
Yeah.
And then he has this look on his face, and it's just the end of the movie.
And it never garnered a sequel.
No, I think this one intended to kind of make a sequel of it, but they just didn't.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't think it did that well.
No.
I remember seeing it in theaters, though, in 3D. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, there were definitely some scenes that, I never saw this when it came out in 3D. I was too young. I was, I think, 11 when this came out in theaters. But, it was cool watching with 3D glasses and kind of seeing everything happen.
Yeah,
when I watched it.
Sweet.
I've seen this movie... 5 or 6 times, and I think I watched this one on accident. I intended to watch the first one, so this was really the first My Bloody Valentine I kind of watched, even though I was mean to watch the original.
Yeah,
because I bought the
DVD. This was the first My Bloody Valentine that I watched. Before I watched the original and found the original, I saw this in movie theaters. Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
But let's give it a C.
I'm going to give it a C. I mean, it's entertaining. There's some decent acting and some pretty good gore kills. But I'd say that doesn't hold up as memorable or as good as the original. It's just not as good.
Yeah.
But it's still interesting and it's still alright. And if you like the original, I would say watch this one too.
Yeah, and if you're a fan of the CW genre days when all the actors were in horror movies... Watch it.
Also, if you just a lot of that, I want to say, because even though it's 2009, it's borderline 2010, I feel a lot of the 2010s horror kind of vibes, you might also like this movie, because there's so much a lot of those slashers from that time period, so.
But anyways, like and follow for more.
Like and follow for more. Take care. Bye.
Bye.